week's episode on Immigrant News, I am going to be interviewing my grandma, and she is going to be talking about her father. So, I am going to ask you some questions. When did your family come to America?
My mother was born in America. Her parents came in the beginning of the 1900s because there were a lot of pogroms in Poland, and that meant that the Polish soldiers would attack different neighborhoods or villages, and they would hurt the Jews or they would just destroy their property. So they had to flee from there, and they came to America then. My father was from Germany, a town called Fulda, and he had to leave Germany because in 1939, Kristallnacht, and I'm sure you'll learn about that, they rounded up all the Jews, and my father was put into a concentration camp with his father called Buchenwald. So that would be your great-great-grandfather, and your great-grandfather was in Buchenwald for 9 months. And then they got a visa, my father got a visa to come to England. He stayed in England a year and then he came to America.
Okay, thank you. What mode of transportation brought him here?
A ship came from England to America.
What did he feel would be the advantages, disadvantages to coming here?
Well, the advantages were that he was able to flee the Nazis and not get killed in a concentration camp. The disadvantages were that he could not get his mother and father out of Germany because they could not get a visa, a passport to come here. And so he was never able to see his parents again.
So whom did he travel with?
He was alone, all by himself, and he was about 20 something, in his 20s.
Okay, did he keep in touch with any people from his homeland?
Yes, I have letters actually that his mother sent him, and they're really old and they're falling apart, but these are actual letters in German that his mother sent to him, kind of asking how he is, and I had someone look at it because I don't know German as well as I should, and they said that it was definitely looked at by the Nazis, and they're not even sure if his mother ended up sending this. They may have changed the letter a bit.
Do you know how to read it in German?
I took German in college, so I do know some German, yes.
Okay, so did he bring anything special with him from his former homeland?
Well, the most special thing was his mother's wedding ring, which I still have today. And he brought one more ring, which I have somewhere. And then he brought 2 sterling silver spoons and 2 sterling silver forks. And that was really all he could bring with him. But the most amazing thing was his German passport. And his name was Max Goldmeyer. But for all Jewish people, they put, if you were a man, they put Israel. His name was Max, and is it under there? They put Israel.
Right.
And if you were a woman, they put Sarah. to connote that you were Jewish.
So, I have a few more questions.
Okay.
What challenges did you face coming here?
He didn't know the language. He had to take English courses at night, and he had some money with him, but he had to get a job immediately. So his first job was putting jelly into jelly donuts. He was on an assembly line, and he had to squeeze the jelly in the jelly donuts. His second job was waiting on women to sell shoes to the women. And his third job, he had been a paint salesman in Germany, and so he opened a paint store, and that's what he did the rest of his life. He owned a paint store in Chicago.
So he got fired a lot, or he quit?
He quit from the bakery, but he got fired from the women's shoe store because he tried to fit women's feet into shoes that were too small.
Is there anything else you would
He
like
always
to
used to
show
tell
us?
us that story.
Is there anything else you would like to show us?
I would like to show you really my mother and father's wedding receipt. They got married in 1942, and they had 89 people at the wedding, and the meal cost 89 people at $1.35 a plate. And this was a kosher wedding. So that came to $120.55. They served 3 cases of beer, and that was $11.25.
Wow.
And they paid the rabbi or whoever performed the wedding $2. And the whole total came to $173.40.
What's that, 25 cents?
Where?
25?
No, that's $25
For him?
for the synagogue and the wedding canopy, the chuppah. And it says the chatan was going to pay the bill, and the chazan, he didn't know how much the chazan was going to charge. There's a question mark. Somebody performed the wedding, but somebody sang at the wedding, but there was no charge there.
Okay, so for the final question, what is the best memory he had coming here, or like while he was here? What was his best memories?
He had very fond memories of his parents, his family. His father was a dealer in cattle. His father would buy and sell cattle. And he was a paint salesman in Germany. He traveled into the Black Forest, into little towns, and he would sell paint for a company. He would be he would sell paint for the company, and he had his own driver he used to travel with. Until it got so bad the people could not buy from him, because in Germany they were told you cannot buy from a Jewish person. And then he knew it was time. He had to leave Germany.
All right, so give it up for my grandma. Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure.